Professional football in America is a special game, a unique game. Played nowhere else on earth, it is a rare game. The men who play it make it so.
Hey, everyone in, let's go. Huddle up on three. 1, 2, 3, huddle up.
I can't not play football before. He costs us nothing.
You hear me?
They please us like we do.
Yes, sir.
They sweat us like we do.
Do you hear me?
They went through 2 days. We went through 2 days in 110-degree heat.
Yes, sir.
I want you to hit everything that moves. If the ref gets in your way, you hit him.
Okay, then, let's play.
But they're cheating us too. They're against us too. This is our team. This is us. Let's go right now. Let's get it up now. Let's go.
Back-to-back, man. You do not see this in college football.
But the Georgia Bulldogs bludgeoned their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory, Georgia, as the fight song says.
For the lead. Butker up, got it. And the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57. And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Welcome back. It's a new season, new look, new intro. Same hatred of Ernest. No, I don't want to start. I don't want to start this. I shouldn't start this season like that. We'll get there soon.
But you're going to. But you're going to.
Well, yeah, but you know what? We were going to get there anyway. So, I mean,
get out of the way. Get the rim out of the way.
Welcome, everyone. Huddle Up Podcast. It is Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. Live show number 1 of the new season. We are glad to be back. We've made it through the offseason. We've already had one, albeit small, slate of live football, college football. Yes, Kyle, I know we had the XFL and the USFL and all of the other things that you covered on the Student of the Game, bing, all summer and spring and all of that. So we know, but this is what we're here for.
Brag.
This
Here's to the lack of off season for some of us bitches.
This is what we're here for. College football is back en masse this weekend. The NFL will be back in 9 days from today.
Woo!
We have waited long enough. Mikey B in the comments. Welcome back, Mikey B. He'll be in there all season long. If you're following along with us live, give us a like and a share. We'd appreciate that. Interact with us in the comments. But the usual gang is all here. Matt, we'll start with you. How we doing?
Doing well. Coming off a solid win in week 0 for Notre Dame, as much as you hate that, Jim.
Kickoff weekend. We'll call it kickoff
zero
weekend.
shit.
Week 0 doesn't exist.
So college season off to a good start for the Fighting Irish. It's nice to see a quarterback who can run and throw. Didn't know you were allowed to do those two things as a quarterback.
Apparently you are.
Apparently you can.
We have not known that for the last.
So a fun week 0 overall.
EJ, how we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm a little uncomfortable about all this Florida State hype coming to the year. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Ooh.
But we're gonna know first four weeks out the shoot. LSU, Clemson for 2 to first 4 weeks. So we'll see.
You're better than this. You're smarter than this. At least
not really.
So.
Not really. Not really.
Student of the Game, Kyle Nash. How we doing?
The guy finally has an opportunity to brag and actually about one of his actual teams that he's actually proclaimed since I've actually been doing pods with him in decades. And now he wants to run and hide like a little pansy.
I'm just a little comfortable.
And yet you've never actually met him in person.
But it's his fault. But with that in mind, yeah, apparently the chances of that are the chances of the things that happen in real life that happen in a Disney movie. Anyways, yeah, that's a Disney job.
Are you really mad about that, Kyle?
Can I say except?
Do we want to go? Let's get out of the way. Our first hug of the year. Come on.
Oh yeah. Well, no.
Come on.
Actually, all you need to do is drink that cup you have. That since your family has adopted me as your own.
Merchandising.
Always, brother. Always,
That
brother.
opportunity to throw out the stuff about T-Public and merchandising for stuff connected to the Huddle Up podcast and Huddle Up Inc. Above me, of course, the CEO, Big Jim Neese, doing the thing. And Jim, I got to give you your props, though. Normally, I'm bored with some whatever, it doesn't matter, Irish drivel. But I was about to run through a wall this year with the whole hype up thing. I don't care if it was the Irish or not. I'm ready to go. Let's do the thing.
Look, man, let's do the thing. Yeah, if you are not subscribed to us, make sure you do that. We are on all podcast platforms, YouTube as well. We are on Twitter at Huddle Up Podcast, on Facebook at Huddle Up Podcast, and on TikTok at the same. So make sure you check that out. Hit the link tree in any of those places. That's where you can get connected to everything Huddle Up Podcast Incorporated. Beyond this show, we have plenty of other stuff. We have the Fat Kids Certified Fantasy Hour, which, if nothing else, is good for comedy. So you can check that out. That'll
very
be
fluffy, very fluffy show
tomorrow as well. Very fluffy. We have my observations when I record them. We have EJ's whatever when he pretends to be a podcaster on this channel. Matt pitches once or twice, but we'll get there.
I heard
basketball and hockey.
I heard here, Jim,
is right around the corner. It should have.
It hurt in the diabetes.
You have 18 podcast channels and you release 42 shows a week, and you can't do one for this feed. But okay.
Hey, talk to Matt. He's only done 2 shows. Talk to Matt. Talk to Matt. 2 episodes to pitch. And that's it.
Well, that's fine. But you were like deep committed, and then you just stopped.
I also don't record 7 other podcasts in the week instead of doing the pitch. I just don't do anything.
There you go. And see, I can appreciate that. You have no excuse.
This is racist.
Not to mention and one with EJ. It's just a silly
don't
name.
care about your feelings, EJ.
That's my line. That's my line.
Wait. Did Woke Jim just quote Ben Shapiro?
What's
happened?
Well, I wanted to speak something that EJ would understand.
Yeah. Oh my
God. All right, let's kick off the show. We're having too much fun.
Away we go.
But some storylines before we get into some of the predictions. We are starting the first phase really of some major college realignment. We have Sam Houston and Jacksonville State joining the FBS for the first time. They will be joining Conference USA. Also joining Conference USA, Liberty and New Mexico State will be moving from Independence to Conference USA. Then we have 6 Conference USA schools who are leaving to join the AAC. Those are Charlotte, Florida Atlantic, North Texas, Rice, UAB, and UTSA. Leaving the AAC is Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, as well as BYU, who is no longer independent. They are all joining the Big 12. So starting with those, because there's 11 teams that will be on the move next year, and we'll talk about them here in a minute. But any of these schools, and I know they are on kind of different levels conference wise. But Kyle, I'll start with you since you do cover one of these teams. Is there one of these teams that you think is going to make a huge impact to the conference they are landing in?
In the Big 12 immediately? No, I don't. And listen, say what you will, even though I cover UCF for the black and gold banneret, I will say that it was kind of a move that if there was, once realignment was a thing, you should have kind of seen it coming, because the American was continuing to get acknowledged as air quotes G5, even though as a conference they were superior to the ACC. And now, even though I've been saying this for years on this very show, Jim, now we're seeing the market starting to correct for itself. Now, do I think any of the 4 added that you mentioned to the Big 12 will make a significant impact? No, I haven't officially. Oh, yes. Well, I've officially said on the Night Shift podcast of the Black and Gold Banneret that UCF is going to make a bowl game, but they're going to do it just barely. And hey, listen, a lot of the bowl games are here in this state, so I probably won't have to fly, or they'll be playing in Shreveport, Louisiana for the Independence Bowl. No thanks. But long of the short, no big impacts yet. And I'll say this, Texas has to be done disappointing again, and Oklahoma has to do what they do before they both get obliterated in the SEC, before I think any of the other 4 schools make a move upward. You got to get that depth on the offensive line. It is what it is.
All right, EJ, how about you?
Look at the teams here. Like the only teams that stand out to me in terms of like teams like Cincinnati and Houston. Of course, UCF going to Big 12. I mean, Big 12 can really use some more, some juice in there. But yeah, those are the only three teams that really stand out to me in terms of like that I can see making impact once they leave and go to these new conferences and whatnot. Other than that, really, these are all teams that are pretty much tiers or two below what we really care about, really, honestly. So those are the three teams really that stand out to me the most.
About being a tier below, you as a Noler now officially getting less money in your conference payout than UCF will come 2020.
Wow.
But
no, that's a lot. That hurt here.
I'm facts don't care about.
But here now.
As you point out, Houston and Cincinnati, those particular programs of late are trending down. Luke Fickell leaving the program in Cincinnati. It's a question of whether they will be able to rebuild immediately. I think they'll be a threat early. We'll see what happens.
Right.
In Houston, what's been going on with Dana Holgerson, they're not exactly thrilled with what's going on in that program. So we'll see how that all goes. But who knows? I'm not here to say they'll be bad, but they have, I think they had UCF had the least work to do, in my opinion, as not only are they trending upward, they have experienced coaching in Gus Malzahn, a former SEC guy. So there you go. And yeah, you point out Liberty and Coastal. I saw that at the Cure Bowl. It's a hell of a game, Mikey Byrne.
Matt, how do you think anybody's going to have an immediate impact where they land?
I wouldn't say immediate. I think there's a chance for some of these teams to make noise, especially in the Big 12 once Oklahoma and Texas kind of decide to do their own thing. So a few years away, but immediate, like this season, no. I wouldn't be surprised. I could see maybe an upset here or there, but nothing in terms of winning the conference in general, especially since Texas and Oklahoma are prone to those letdown games so often.
Oh, I would love to see Oklahoma have a particular letdown with their sock hawking quarterback transfer against a particular team, but I'll leave that at that.
Jeez, hater. God. You said it, Kyle.
Said it. He did say it. Yeah, I don't know. It's especially in the Big 12 or even in the AAC, if anybody's going to have a huge impact to start off. Maybe one of these Conference USA teams can get in there and make a little bit of noise. But
for UAB, yeah, definitely.
Like without really having a ton of expertise in those conferences, it's hard for me to really make that assessment and that judgment. To the 11 teams who will be playing their final season in their current conferences, we have Kennesaw State will be playing their final year as an FCS independent. They'll be moving to Conference USA next year in the Big 12, like Kyle already said. Oklahoma, Texas playing their final year in that conference. They'll be moving to the SEC. Although people should have probably advised them not to do that, but nonetheless, they still are. In the Pac-12, this is where the biggest movement, and this has been one of the biggest offseason storylines, of course. Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah will be moving to the Big 12. Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington will be moving to the Big 10. And really, I mean, we knew about Oklahoma and Texas. No offense, Kennesaw State. It doesn't matter. But
you
that's
say
mean,
that.
But right.
It'll matter in that conference, and you got to give Commissioner Mike Oresco credit. When the Big East died, people were saying the same stuff about the American, but with Mike Oresco at the helm, the reason why you got an American athletic conference that was doing better than the ACC on the whole, like they were, acknowledge them. I mean, not so much now because the tribe's broken up, but I said it.
Matt, I'm proud of you.
Yes, I'm proud of you, buddy.
I am proud of you.
200 to get in there, buddy.
Listen, I've been around you jabronis long enough. I've been doing the In or Out Sports Debate Show on social media with my guy Drew Willingham. I'm gonna pick up a few wrestling things. By the way, I need a bell. Thank you, Jim. So yeah, I say all of that to say Kennesaw State is one of those smaller programs that I'm not saying they're going to go out and win or that they're going to get a national exposure immediately, but they can build an American athletic conference. So, we'll leave all of that.
I like Mike's comment. Coach Prime purposely moves out of the conference, but doesn't follow Oregon, USC to avoid them. I actually like Colorado going back to the Big 12. I mean, they were Big 12 when I was growing up. And then they had moved to the Pac-12 when the Big 12 kind of went through their when the Big 12 went through their shuffle to 10 and the Big 10 went to their shuffle through 12 and the Pac-10 became the Pac-12, and no wonder nobody can do freaking math and geography anymore. But that's neither here nor there.
One point I would add to Mikey Burns' cynicism and being a UCF fan in particular, having to listen to, well, then why don't you guys just join another conference? You got to get invited, guys. It's not like you say, hey, here's a pot of fried chicken. Can I join your conference? It's not how that ish works, fellas. Okay.
Isn't it crazy, though? Like, in a span of like 2-3 years, we've gone from the Big 12 almost like non-existent because all these rumors about teams leaving to now. Now they're expanding now.
When
crazy.
Okay, so A&M had left. When Oklahoma and Texas then announced they were leaving, there was a lot of talk that, like, is this the end of the Big 12?
Yeah.
And like now all of a sudden it's like the Big 12's reloading. The Big 10 obviously getting bigger. The Big 16 now, I think it'll be at this point. And now everybody, like, really, you look at the Pac-12 and unless they make some moves between now and a year from now or whatever, the Pac-12 is on life support.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that, Jim, and I got to say this quickly just to get it out in the ether there. These corrections were a long way coming. Like Andrew mentions, the Pac-12 being what it is there and how Colorado was never a good fit. Well, hey, listen, that coaching staff and what they were doing in that program, they wouldn't have been a good fit at your mom's house. Okay, let me be clear. No offense to our good friend Joel Klatt, but I say that because they were bad, and rightly so. So see what I did there, Jim? But with all that in mind, I think these are corrections that were a long time coming. I have been on this show and so many talking about the Pac-12 being just an also ran, the ACC, Notre Dame's conference that's completely over. Here he goes. They're not in a conference. Yes, they are. Stop it. But no,
I remember like when they murked the ACC in 2020 in the COVID year. But besides that, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I thoroughly appreciate all three of you Irish fans helping make my point for how inferior the ACC is. But the punchline is this. Jim liked that one. But with the punchline is this, guys. This correction's long in the making. And the only thing that's keeping the ACC alive, from what I can see, is their conference agreement that locks everybody in from making more money, and they're stuck all where they're at. Once that agreement ends, or somehow if they topple it, granted, I think it goes to like 2030 or something stupid. But if FSU, who has sought independent assets to try to buy their way out of this thing, if they start that waterfall, you better look out because the ACC. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Exactly. Well played, Big Jim.
EJ, thoughts on what the teams in the Pac-12 are doing and the big shift there in that conference?
Well, we're hearing now too also that the ACC now might be adding teams now from the Pac-12. Stanford has a team that could be going there as well. I mean, I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying there's new rumors.
There's going to be 4 standing, right? Like there's going to be the ring. So what is it? Stanford, Oregon State, Washington State, and who's the last?
Another state?
Who's the last one?
It's Oregon. State, no? The Oregon State got picked up, right?
No, Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington are moving.
Right.
Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah.
So Oregon State.
I'll be honest,
it's bag, right?
I'll be honest.
It's still kind of Oregon State, Washington State,
Stanford,
Cal, and Stanford.
Right.
I'll be honest. It's still kind of sad. Like it's still kind of sad because I always felt the Pac-12. Well, I felt the Pac-12 like product.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not sad. No.
To me, it's sad. To me, it's sad.
The arrogance of Stanford and that conference just being a bunch of I drink wine type of guys.
You drink wine, bitch. What are you talking about?
That's the joke. Listen, at least I'm
EJ.
All you do is whine about how bad all your teams are, except for the Chiefs. But listen, at the end of the day, for me,
they win Super Bowls. What can I tell you?
It's the Giants haven't won a Super Bowl. Oh wait, you're not
Eagles
a fan. Go Cowboys, right?
That's next week. That's next week.
That's next week. Slow down, bro. That's next week's show.
When's the last time FSU's won a national championship? Anyways,
9 years. 9 years.
It's a decade. We'll call it that. Yeah. No, but listen, all of this stuff aside, the Pac-12 was only being kept alive because of money and blue blood. Mm-hmm. You'll notice all the newer presences in college football, such as they are moving towards population centers, moving towards big markets, because money is becoming what moves things along. Coach Gus Malzahn of UCF already has called it NFL free agency himself. That blew my mind that he did that,
I don't want to move on to Matt's thoughts on this before we catch up on some of these comments that point out that EJ's Mets are in last place.
Okay.
Well, no, I just wanted to make
and
sure.
The sky's blue. Next
well,
question.
I know. I just wanted to point it out in case you forgot.
Jim,
I have not forgotten that. Trust me. I get the alerts every fucking day on my phone. Trust me.
I bought a bag of Smart Pop to start munching on for moments just like this, and I forgot to bring it. I'm so sorry.
Oh well,
I moved on. Football's coming.
It's week one. It's week one. We'll knock the rust out. Matt, your thoughts on what's going on with the Pac-12 and the big shift here?
Football's coming, so another couple weeks and another team in blue and from New York can make EJ sad again. What's going on in the Pac-12? Who cares? Put a fork at him. I won't be sad to see any of those that conference just go away. It is what it is. And kudos to the teams that got out when they did.
Yeah,
Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be curious to see where Stanford.
You're an Irish fan, EJ.
Oh yeah, that was last year, buddy. New leaf now. A new clover leaf. You get it?
Mark that. 21-12.
Brutal. Brutal. Oh my God. Awful.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see where Stanford and Cal land. Because you would think that the football rivalry, you would think they would want to land somewhere together. But besides that, I mean, who gives a shit about Oregon?
The Mountain West still a thing? They can go there.
But like optics aside, you don't think the Pac-12 gave you some exciting football, at least to watch?
No.
Define exciting football.
Like it's games. I mean, I know they're all high scoring and shit, but like,
it's been a while. I think that
I mean, if you like watching 78 to 74,
do you? I mean, do you?
So
some do.
I don't.
I mean, I can watch that when I play Madden. I don't need it on a Saturday night.
Okay. Some like it.
It made it fun to gamble because you always knew to take the
over.
But that's about it.
Hey, that's the one thing I regret. Although people would say that it's the Big 12 now, and probably still will be.
Probably still will.
But yeah, death taxes over on the Pac-12 or Big 12. I'm with it.
Yep.
All right. And lastly, the last kind of storyline going into this season is the final year of the 14 playoff. Of course, it moves to a 12-team beginning next season. I know I don't know if we've talked about this in the past, but is 12 teams the right number for you guys? Matt, I'll start with you.
For the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I probably would have kept it at 8, but I understand the logic behind 12 monetarily.
Because the top 4 get the bye week.
The
top seeded teams in those the first round games will get an actual home game, and then they move to neutral site.
Yeah. Again, I would have preferred they keep it at 8, but I understand that advertising and money is going to drive more than what makes sense.
Well, most of the other divisions are 16, right? So the FBS being at 12 is kind of the exception, because I think most of the others they do 6 teams or 16 teams. EJ, your thoughts on the move to 12?
No, I'm at Matt. Same thing too. I've been okay with 8. Honestly, I was advocating for 8 years ago. I get spoiled to get 12. I'm not mad at 12 for the record. Like I'm okay with 12, obviously, but I've been okay with 8 also myself.
Okay, Kyle.
I was screaming 8, but here's why 12 is superior to 8 is because they're insisting. Yeah, Mikey Byrne is obviously with the crowd there, no doubt. I think 12 is superior to 8 because everybody insists on sending conference champions. And frankly, in a world where the Pac-12 still existed, I don't want to see, Utah sneaking in and being a defendant instead of a participant. And no, that's not a shot at you, Jim. We're past that.
Clearly not.
No. Actually, this is my opportunity to acknowledge it. See, you wouldn't know this as a podcast.
Allegedly.
I actually have talent. It's a good way to bring it up so I can express to Jim that I've gotten over it. See what I did there, EJ?
Not really, but okay.
I guess it was too smart for you. Moving on.
Slightly. Matt, slightly.
I like 12. I like 12. 8 would be fine. I still and I get why they're doing it. I get why conference champions are guaranteed. I'm still not a huge fan of it because there will be inevitably there will be an anomaly year, most likely, where you're going to get a team that isn't one of the 12 best teams in the country that wins a conference is going to get in there. It'll be a rarity, but like right. In Iowa, I go back to, I think it was like the 03. I'm sure Andrew will correct me on this because it involved Penn State. And I would guess EJ would, but he may not remember this far back. But Florida State was in the Orange Bowl against Penn State in like 03 or something like that. And they had won the ACC, but were like the 23 ranked team, but they got that automatic bid.
Fun times.
And like that's what I hope never happens with this playoff, but inevitably I think it probably will, because you're going to have one of those years, and maybe not. Maybe if we are seeing a shift to, the Power Four, where there's just tons of teams loaded up in these conferences, where you're just by default, simple mathematics, you're going to have one of the top 12 teams. But that's my only reason why I never like the automatic bid, is that outlier season. But no system's going to be perfect.
Yeah, at this point, Jim, you're 12 teams deep. It's not like it's one of your top 4 and somebody sneaks in who doesn't, belong somehow, right? It's and I think, at some point, if you sneak into the top 12 and people are griping about it, and you couldn't supplant the other 11 teams ahead of you to get in there, or the 12 teams ahead of you for on the outside looking in, get over it, do better,
Yeah, and like I said, no system's ever going to be perfect, so it's hard to really get that upset about it.
Enough to not have this new format. I'd rather have the new format.
Correct. Yeah, I mean it's better than 4. I've never liked 4, which I guess it was better than the previous system. So like,
there you go.
Again, it's
an errant team with a triple overtime win over Pitt gets a championship berth. You don't want to see that.
There it is. We got it. Dickhead.
Always does it.
But
he was begging for it. Okay, come on now.
No, you're right.
Come on, Kale. Say it, Pitt.
I don't think that's what I was saying. You don't set him up for it. But if you want to keep bringing up, what is that now?
Because you can't say Pickett without Pitt, right, Jim?
Jesus Christ.
Good God.
We've hit the 27-minute mark, and I hate this year already. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me just get you.
What can I say except you're welcome?
And there we are.
Woo!
All right, we actually look at week 1. What did Mikey say?
Even Byrne acknowledges.
Yeah, well, I'm an idiot. All right, let's go here. We got week 1 games beginning on Thursday. So we're taking the full slate off. Just 2 nights from tonight, we have EJ. This is the team you like, Florida, the Gators, right? That's the one. No,
don't start your shit.
Yeah.
Although, did you watch the documentary on Netflix, The Untold?
Oh, you mean the Urban Meyer fluff piece? Yeah,
yeah.
Awful.
Oh, dude,
he came off as an asshole. He's more of an asshole.
I'm sitting there watching the last episode, going, "How did they make this motherfucker seem sympathetic?"
For real,
horrible.
For real.
It wasn't going to work on me. I sat through 2021 in Jacksonville. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Like, absolutely.
They skip a bit. They go, he left the Jaguars. No, bitch, he got fired.
Yeah.
They said left the Jaguars. No, you bitch, got fired.
Like, I don't know. They completely glazed over that tight end that made the news. I don't know, somewhere in the northern United.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, he was on that team.
Oh, you're still that mad that Tebow made the Jag? Oh, you mean a different guy? Okay.
Yeah, it's a different guy. Man, it was awful. All right, let's look at it. The Florida Gators travel to number 14 Utah, a 6.5 point home favorite. 46 is your over under on this one. Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern time on ESPN. Kyle, we'll start with you.
So on Thursday night, I'm going to be at a different game. So No, actually, for that money, listen. This you're talking about Utah and Florida. That rematch is fun. I like it a lot. I think Billy Napier gets this one back. I don't know that the rest of the year is going to go well for Florida per se because the SEC is the SEC. But yeah, so all that. I don't know the spread and all that stuff. So if I try to pick against it for Mikey Byrne and everything he needs, I won't be accurate. So I don't want to give him fake numbers that EJ can boast later. So
you're still big mad, aren't you, about that?
Well, again, I do data for a living. So when somebody tries to commit fraud, like he's a Republican presidential candidate, I get angry.
Hugs. Come on. Woke Kyle.
You sound insane.
I don't know if he's talking about me or you, EJ, but
both. Hey, both.
Well, if the shoe fits. All right, EJ, Florida, Utah.
This fucking team let me down last year when they played last season. I'm going to take it one more time. Give me Utah to cover slightly and give me the under. Yes, Matt. Yes.
Slightly.
Under is the quality take. I'll agree with EJ on the under.
Yeah.
Slight. Matt.
Slight. So by slightly covering, you have them winning by 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a slight cover.
You're good at this game, aren't you, Matthew?
Slight. Yeah, I don't like to pick against CJ's Gators, but I will also take Utah with an average coverage of the spread. Let me go 9 points. But definitely taking the under on that one.
Actually, Jim,
that's the bet though.
You mentioned the spread. I did not catch it. Who's getting the points?
6.5. Utah.
Utah is a 6.5 point favorite. 46 is your over under.
Oh, so you're giving me a touchdown? Yeah, I got Florida.
Okay, there we go. I will take Utah with a mild cover of 8.
Mild cover. Look at this.
And I will take the under as well. Mikey B has Utah and the over.
Over.
Oh, damn it! I'm the contrarian with this. Oh, here we go. EJ's going to send me one.
So that all tracks. Okay, we're on pace.
I'll do another EJ-ism. My season's over.
Kyle's on the hot seat already.
I have an ism. Shit.
By the way, great exercising, EJ.
All right. Probably one of the biggest spread we have in this season, but the eyes of college football will be on Colorado at number 17 TCU. It is the big noon kickoff on Fox this Saturday. TCU, number 17 in the country, is a 21-point favorite. 59.5 is your over-under on this one. Matt, we'll start with you. Coach Prime, game number 1 in Colorado.
Yeah. Well, it's Big 12, so give me the over for sure.
Smart.
I would take TCU minus 4 touchdowns. I think they're going to throttle Colorado.
All right, EJ.
This is in TCU, right? You said
this is at TCU.
Yeah, give me TCU to cover all the points and give me the over.
I thought you were gonna take under. I had a sounder ready to go, but you were smart enough this time to back off of that.
Maybe not next
time. Listen, who is SWAC if he ain't SWAC? But they're gonna get SWAC'd. Yeah, I got TCU over all that crap.
Yeah, I would love to say that I could see Coach Prime riling this team up enough to cover the 21. Like, take all the shit talk from everybody in sports radio, including this week, leading up, to this Saturday. But man, I just don't see it in week 1. I don't. Give me TCU plus. Give me the over. Absolutely. Mikey B's got it. Death, taxes, and the over, which he has TCU as well covered.
I will give you this sure thing though, gentlemen. If the Buffalo of Colorado do cover, someone's going to ask Prime about it, and the bet I'll make if that all happens is he'll say, "Ain't no more victories here, man. Ain't nobody care." Okay, something like that.
Absolutely. But it's going to be an interesting
I wonder
season.
if I can bet that on DraftKings Prime's post.
that would be pretty funny.
If you can, I will cash app you and triple the bet.
There we go. Andrew has TCU in the over as well. Yeah, pretty smart play there. All right, then we go this Saturday night. It is the Big Ten NBC kickoff.
Wait,
Never thought
nothing about UCF and Kent State.
they just missed the cut, Kyle. They just
I'm
missed the
also
cut.
It's an
surprised you
opportunity.
didn't
Go
put
ahead.
EJ's Miami versus Miami game up there too.
Oh, the Miami squared. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's math, so it would be too complicated for EJ.
Exactly.
No,
Don't give a fuck.
Thank you.
and me, I just wanted to get a belt for the black and gold banneret.
Bing.
Holy
That
snap.
was to the Miami and the Miami because
Okay, good. I
Oh,
feel
man.
better. God.
The U is back this year, Jim.
always are, right?
You
Always
picked them
are.
last year.
The who?
I
With
did.
that.
Exactly, the who. All right, this is the Big Ten primetime NBC. Never thought I'd see the day where the Big Ten infiltrated
Weird.
Notre Dame's home network. If you can't get us to join, you have to come to our network. I see how
Winter
it
is coming, Jim Snow.
bullshit. I see how it is.
Bull crap.
I see how it is. West Virginia travels a little bit north to number 7 Penn State, who is a 20.5 home favorite. 50.5 is your over-under on this one. Kyle, we'll start with you.
You know, there's some goofballs out here trying to tell me this is going to be a big game. The Mountaineers haven't climbed worth a damn, and the only thing they're going to be good for is getting shot at and black gold spewing up. That's right. That's a Beverly Hillbillies reference. And I wish I could connect Penn State to oil, but oh yeah, their chances of actually being worth the crap are kind of crude, if you ask me. No disrespect to your household. I just can't take them seriously. But I will this week. I have Penn State the over.
Well, yeah, it's easy to pick Penn State this week. They're not playing the two teams they always lose to. EJ.
Yeah, come on now. Penn State to cover and the over as well.
All right, Matt.
Don't get the Michigan fan riled up here talking about Penn State.
Exactly.
I will take the over, but these aren't Pat White's Mountaineers. Give me Penn State to cover that spread.
Yeah, he barely kept his family fed, those Pat White Mountaineers.
Yeah, it's gross. I don't understand why people are so high on this Penn State team, but this week's going to be an easy one, especially at home at night. Penn State's going to cover, and I think I want to go under because I don't know if West Virginia is going to be able to score enough to hit that over mark.
I would imagine, though, that the slapping in question would rival, oh gosh, I don't know. Let's say like Wayne Brady in that Dave Chappelle skip in one of his, slap, yeah. So I would be impressed if a Penn State player shouted out, "I'm Wayne Brady, bitch," but I don't think that's going to happen.
Give me
Wayne Brady schmack on this show. Anyways,
give me Penn State plus, but I will take the under. Andrew here has Penn State in the over. He not a fan of the move to NBC either. Yeah, stay off my network. Mikey B has Penn State and the under. Just see, Mikey B gets it. He doesn't think West Virginia can score.
This guy gets it.
So yeah, exactly.
This guy gets it.
All right.
If the game is on NBC and not on the cock? Or is it on
I
both?
think all NBC games are also
On Peacock.
aired on Peacock. So
Yeah,
if you
they
have Peacock, but you don't have an NBC channel, you can watch it there as well.
let's not excite EJ too much about that. Tom Brady's not playing anymore. Moving on.
I'm still sad about
my.
that. Still recovering from that. So
Andrew says Penn State's defense will be one of the best this year. The big question for them is how quickly the offense will gel the new quarterback. I will agree with the statistical part about Penn State's defense. And yeah, that was their strongest unit last year as well. But again, the key for Penn State season, and I'm not saying this just as a person who has hated Penn State since day one of my life, the key for them, as it's been, is can you beat Michigan and can you beat Ohio State?
Nope.
And I don't know that you can.
I'm not sure they could beat Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
I think they beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wait. It depends where the game's at. No, where's the? Let me pull up the schedule here, because if it's early in the schedule,
Frisky Badgers, baby.
Listen, all I said is I'm not sure right now, and the fact that Jim has to check the schedule makes my damn point.
Yeah.
Well, no, because Wisconsin does that, right?
They're
Like
frisky.
Wisconsin usually comes out hot, and then October they remember that they're Wisconsin.
Yeah, they start playing in prime time late in the season.
Penn State
and they
doesn't
do it
even
for
play
Kirk
Wisconsin this year. So
Really?
yeah. So the only time they would play them would be in the Big Ten title game, which I don't know that either team gets to.
They will not.
Is it any other team other than Michigan, Ohio State that's actually worth challenging Penn State? And that's
Not
good.
in that conference.
Okay. Okay.
No, their Big Ten schedule is Illinois, Iowa, Northwestern, Ohio State, Indiana, Maryland, Michigan, Rutgers, and Michigan State.
Yeah, it's a juggernaut.
So basically, they'd be 9-2, 10-2, whatever fucking.
Probably 10-2 because they play West. They're out of conference games. They're West Virginia, Delaware, and UMass.
So basically,
10 wins. That's kind of how
Right.
Notre Dame did that with Brian Kelly, right, Jim?
Sip it.
All right. Then lastly,
Jesus Christ, he moved on.
EJ's already broken. we have broken EJ. Time of death, 40 minutes, 35 seconds. All right. Then we go to this one.
Speaking of broken.
Number 5, LSU. Speaking of Brian Kelly, a 2.5-point road favorite at number 8, Florida State. Why are they that high? 58 if you're over under on this one. Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. Matt, we'll start with you.
At this point,
Wait,
I'm
Mikey
kind of
brings up a good point. Do not Google Frisky Badgers.
So Google Frisky Badgers. Okay, thank you.
too late. Oh, he said kids.
Kids do not, but
Kids
just in
not,
general.
So, I mean, EJ's kids are probably behind him right now, ready to dunk. So EJ's kids,
thankfully they're asleep.
do not
The only
Google.
reason they're not looking is because they're on Google right now.
Right.
Looking at Frisky Badgers.
Jim's
Yes.
Jesus.
I'm beyond the annoyance with Kelly at this point. So give me LSU minus 2.5. I will
Hey.
take the over as well.
All right, EJ.
It's a trap.
I know. I'm gonna go homer in this one. I'll take Florida State to win outright.
Homer.
The question's really. Yep, that's correct. The only question is about whether they take the over under. Last year they went to the third. No, last year was 21-20. I think it was the game. So
I thought it was 17-16.
no, it was definitely like in the 40. Like 40 total points, 40 points.
Okay, no,
I know.
Who the hell cares?
Wow.
Apparently I do.
Analyzing the game.
Honestly, fuck it. Take the over. I'm taking over on every goddamn pick this week. So let's go. Fucking over. Let's go. Welcome back, college football.
Over.
Wow. Jim, your production value continues to increase. Damn it, I love it.
Dude, that's awesome. We've been doing the last couple of weeks, man. Fucking this plucking out fucking.
Actually
awesome.
planning to perform and do shows. Maybe you should do something about that, EJ.
It's a bold strategy,
Fuck, I do. Do you, buddy?
Bold strategy, got him.
Kyle, LSU, Florida State.
I will actually be in the building at the Citrus Bowl.
Really?
Do I need to adhere to the since I'm covering I don't pick policy, or what are we doing here?
I'll leave that one up to you if you want to pull the Herb Street coward move on
Actually, no, here's the reason why I won't is because I'm not actually writing a preview for the game such that it works out, but I will be writing a reaction to the game and what it means for both teams and the outcome that will come out after the game on the 3-point conversion. So with all that in mind, you'll have to remind me the spread and the over-under number, Jim. I didn't quite hear
LSU 2.5-point favorite. 58 is your over-under.
I'm going to take the under at 58. I got to be honest. There's an SEC defense involved, so that's where I live. Picking Florida State outright isn't necessarily a bad pick, EJ, but I like Coach Novell. Jordan Travis I've been told he's supposed to get better, but they have a Heisman Trophy alleged candidate on the other side at LSU.
Allegedly.
I'll see that first before I believe it. And I think this early in the season, Jordan Travis is going to have a couple turnovers with some butterflies in his stomach from this game. I think that's going to make it close. I'm going to pick LSU because Brian Kelly is very familiar with that facility. I personally have been to 6 press conferences involving him once Sunday has happened. So, yeah, I'm going to take LSU on that.
All right.
I hate you, Kyle.
What? Because I have good analysis and you don't?
Mikey also brings up a good point. Nice play here by Tony Reale. EJ says he's taking the over on everything, says the guy who took the under in Utah, Florida. So
I did take that one.
fact check that, mother effer.
We don't fact check here.
Lucky for
Apparently
you.
Bird does.
Mikey has LSU and the over. Fuck FSU. Yeah, you know what? Why are they that high? LSU.
No. Honestly, it wears me out that high though. Honestly,
Can I
they're a
tell
top
you-
20 team? Yes. Top
Here's
10?
why they're that high is because they're going to win a sorry conference, and that's going to artificially place them higher. That's what I think is going to happen.
All right, a little spoiler alert action. LSU plus, I will take the under as well. 58 is a lot of points between these two teams, but all right, that is where we will leave off for week 1. But we are not done with the predictions because as this is going into the preseason or the real start of the season, despite kickoff week or this alleged week 0 that
Allegedly.
all the people keep talking about. But we will go conference by conference and give our predictions for those. We will start in the Big Ten. I think there's pretty much only one of 2 teams to pick from in reality here. Kyle, I'll start with you. Big Ten champion.
Well, I should make Jim very happy as the Michigan fan on the panel. I have Jim Harbaugh and company with their superior trench warfare in the Michigan Wolverines repeating the conference.
All right, EJ.
I also have Michigan to win as well. And I think that Ohio State game this year is in Michigan as well too, in Ann Arbor. So that actually helps as well. Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah, last year was in the shoe.
Columbus, yeah.
Last year was in the shoe. Matt.
I also have Michigan winning. I think the drop off from the QB talent will be too much for Ohio State this year.
Yeah, myself and my brother Sean, who contributes to the show, but he is in hurricane prep right now. I do want to say to all in the path of this storm, we hope that you are safe. Our thoughts are with the people of Florida and Georgia and everywhere down south who's in the path of this one. Looks to be a pretty big one. So he is definitely on assignment in a different way than normal for this one. But we both have Michigan as well. And Mikey B does.
Real quick, Ryan Day loses Michigan again. He get fired?
Not yet.
I mean, here's the problem. Last year, the last 2 years they've gotten boat raced by Michigan, but last year they made it to the college football playoff. They made it to the title game and probably would have won the game if it wasn't for Marvin Harrison Jr. getting hurt. So
correct.
Like, look. I hate Ohio State. I hate Ohio State fans, but like the crazy thought that Ryan Day should be run out of town because he has lost 2 straight, and if it happens a 3rd straight to Michigan, is asinine.
Buddy, you've lived that life though. As a Michigan fan, you've seen that. As
a Notre Dame fan, I live with that with Brian Kelly for how
beat me there, but exactly right. The only Notre Dame coach in the goddamn program's history to get 4 10-win seasons consecutive, and y'all fools, not you, Jim, because I know you were smarter than that. EJ had a pitchfork for Brian Kelly's job as an Irish fan. I'm assuming. I don't know.
But yeah, and yeah, like Mikey says, it's very hard to fire a guy who goes 11-1, like at worst.
No, I agree. Tell Ohio State fans that though.
No, Ohio State,
they're dumb as shit.
Here's the thing, man. I get rivalry things. I really do. I get it, and like that's a game that both sides. Like you could go 1-11 every year, but if you win that game, people are going to be happy about it.
That saves your job in that instance.
They live for that game, right? So, it's the same thing. Alabama, Auburn, like those huge rivalries, like winning that game can save you. Now, again, I also don't think that losing 3 years in a row to Michigan should be the reason that a guy gets fired. Like that'd be nuts. Like that would really be nuts.
I mean, we've seen worse decisions like Scott Frost thinking he'd make a difference at Nebraska, but that's a whole other question.
Yeesh.
Too soon?
No, never too soon. If you're talking about how terrible Nebraska is, it's never too soon. All right. Let's move now to the ACC. Matt, we'll start with you for the ACC.
The U is back now.
Stop it.
Cut the shit.
Hey. After what I saw for your Big 12 pick, you don't get to do that. More on that later.
Oh, there it is.
You peeked at my pick already? Oh, you asshole.
Hey, listen.
Did it change from when I went through and edited everyone's?
I knew it was you.
I don't know ACC this year. I hate to even put stock in EJ's Florida State, but usually when I do things like that, it turns out poorly for those teams. So Florida State.
There you go. Smart guy.
Giants to the
I
Super
love the
Bowl,
spirit
right?
of it. I really do.
I do.
EJ.
Yeah, I'm going to actually agree with the Eagle fan here.
Tough thing for a Cowboy fan to do. Am I right?
I'm telling you.
Homer.
Kyle.
You know, I'm with you on that. It's less that I think FSU is great, and I don't think they're a bad team. I like that they made the top 25. They should have made the top 25. I don't know about the top 10, but I think that'll be solved this coming Sunday. And I think that's part of the reason why they're ranked that high there too, by the way, is because this game is happening. Whole other question. It'll be a great home game for FSU, and if they blow it, well, they won't get hurt too much because the SEC. Punchline this: who the hell else you got competing? You have that much faith in BC? Listen, the last time that college was worthwhile, it was in the BC. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
She did it there. I'll say this much to your point. This conference will be decided by week 4 this year. Clemson, Florida State, week 4. Well, no.
Well, why? I mean, they don't have Uyunglele or anything like that.
There it is.
You did it.
Mikey has look. This is more defense on my side. As Notre Dame having Clemson on the schedule, I'll take Clemson to win because that'll help Notre Dame strength the schedule if needed later in an argument. When it comes down to college football playoff.
Not as much this year, though, Jim, before we get too much into that.
No. Notre Dame's schedule definitely a little stronger this year than it has been in the previous few.
But you also know what happens when Notre Dame gets those big wins, those teams immediately drop off for the rest of the year.
Well, that is
They
true.
will not. I saw Cincinnati. They will not.
Rude.
Facts.
Well, that was a game they lost. I'm talking about ones they win.
Oh, I see what. Right, my bad. I got backwards.
Sean has Florida State as well, for the record. All right, we move to Moves to the we move to the SEC. Kyle, we will start you off in the Southeast Conference.
Listen, I mean, I think everybody's going to have that dog in them, right? Like,
right? I mean,
and listen, I'm gonna attribute something that Joel Klatt pointed out to me. He's the greatest podcaster out there in college. That's not us, and rightly so. And he points out how dependent Alabama was at the quarterback position last year with Bryce Young. The Texas debacle, which I'm sorry, they shouldn't have won that game, but the only reason why the refs could cheat enough in Alabama's favor to give them that game, hashtag I said it, was because of Bryce Young. Now, he may not make it a full 17 weeks with the Carolina Panthers, and that's sad, but he will not be there to quarterback the Alabama Crimson Tide. You're going to lose a few more games. Hey, maybe I'll get to cover Saban in person again as he makes it to a Citrus Bowl. He'll still be a force because it's Alabama, but yeah, no, they're not winning the SEC this year.
All right, EJ.
Yeah, it's easy. Bulldogs. Let's go.
And rightly so.
Yeah. Nothing to be said there.
I had no faith in Tommy Rees just vitalizing that Alabama offense, huh?
Tommy Rees,
bitches. Hey,
look at that combo, baby.
I have no faith in Josh Heupel without Hendon Hooker either. Okay, how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Bulldogs, and it's not going to be close. I think they're going to steamroll that division.
See, I'm going a little bit different because one of two things: either I'm going to be the outlier and I'm going to be right, and I get to say I told you so, or I get to
Tennessee.
laugh.
I quit this show right now.
Why would I pick Tennessee? Get the fuck out of here! I will quit this show if I pick Tennessee. I will shut this shit down. I'm going to pick a guy that never got it done in the big moment here. I'm going to pick LSU. Because if I get it right, I get to say I told you so. When I get it wrong, then I get to laugh at Brian Kelly.
He should be wrong.
He won the ACC. You don't know. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
That's not a big show. That's not the big game.
By the way, it's crap like that made you a defendant last year. Be careful.
I mean, I'll just say Sean has Georgia as well, so I am definitely the outlier in that one. All right, we move to what could be the last season of the Pac-12.
What will be?
Could be.
Likely
will be.
There'll be a great hockey conference, Jim.
But I will say this, the end of the Pac-12 as we know it. Let's put it that way. Matt, we'll start with you.
As much as I really want to pick against USC, I just don't see anyone else in that conference putting up the fight. No offense, Oregon Ducks, but you let me down last year. I'm not doing it this year. USC.
Always. I did pass over. Mikey did have Georgia as well for the SEC.
And that's a great statement. No Stetson Bennett, no problem is 100% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I was asking Matt, you don't believe in Oregon. Does that mean you put a Nix on Bo?
Come on.
Lord, Kyle, really?
Ridiculous.
Haters gonna hate, motherfuckers.
EJ, Pac-12.
I mean, it's USC or bust. I mean, what teams you hit? You can even see challenging them at this point. You have the Heisman, leaderboard here in Caleb Williams. So I mean, it's USC or bust at this point, man. If they lose, if they lose even one game going into the conference championship weekend, it's a failure. Honestly.
Well, I mean, they will lose October.
Must win, Jim. Week 1, must win.
I mean, they will lose October 14th in South Bend, but that's not a conference game.
Oh, that is South Bend this year. Shit, that's right.
Kyle.
USC, in fact, will win the conference, but it's not for any of the reasons you gentlemen mentioned. They had Caleb Williams last year in dominant fashion to deliver him the Heisman. It's the fact that they concentrated and rebuilt their defense. And again, I'm going to quote another Joel Clattism because he said, what's that?
Did they?
No, and if you, well, first of all,
I mean, San Jose State was barking in that third quarter this past weekend. Just
listen, this is like me taking your Cowboys preseason game seriously. Okay, who does that? It's not. No, come on. They're trying things. They're getting guys to get used to situations. Caleb Williams was asked to sit in the pocket, for example, on offense. Didn't do any of the creativity and movement that he would normally do in such a game that would actually challenge him. And then I think the defensive play calling was overly aggressive to get these guys in shape. I don't think that was like a true game day thing. Like they're going to go up against your Utes. Sorry, not the case anymore. They'll go up against Utah.
Or are they?
I saw this effing guy.
Still get over it.
Well, and if we know one thing, we've seen Lincoln Riley's prowess as a defensive minded coach from his days at Oklahoma. So,
or rather, the lack thereof. I see what you did there.
You see what I did there.
Yeah, no. Listen, I mean, Ray Charles saw what you did, but that doesn't mean it wasn't great music. No, but because they concentrated on that, and I think again the way that Joel Klatt put it was best. You don't have to be first in the conference. You don't have to be second, third, fourth, or even fifth in defense. You need a GED. This is the part I'm making up. A GED, a good enough defense, and you'll win that conference. Period.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah, I mean they're the best team. Mikey says Bo knows he has no chance. I like Bo knows line. That's good. That's good shit, Mikey. That's why we're gonna keep you around here. Trojan Star John, Sean and I both have USC. Yeah, this one's easy. This one is absolutely easy to call that one. All right, and then we move to the Big 12, again a conference that is changing in a big way after this season. Kyle, we'll start with you in the Big 12.
You know, honestly, this was the harder one for me to pick. It's not Texas. All right, anybody here who picked Texas, I have a bridge to sell you. Like, if you believe in Texas, I'm pretty sure you bought Bitcoin. If you believe in Texas, I can't help you. I can't believe in Oklahoma. I almost went there because it's the last year in. Couldn't do that. Wasn't brave enough. I am but a weak man in such a fashion. I wanted to put Texas Tech. Also wasn't brave enough. So at the end of the day, criminy. You know, I don't even remember what I put on the sheet because I was that unsure. Like I don't know who to put on the thing. You know, I was
I have the sheet up if you truly don't remember.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up too when I was stalling, and I still
TCU. You have TCU.
We'll go with TCU. There you go.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
I was hoping you were going to go with Oklahoma State.
Come after me.
But
listen, understand something. He is going to be here in Orlando at the Bounce House on November 11th. So I don't want to. Come on, man.
Kyle's going to go googly eyes.
I may seeing the shine of the mullet from the
I'm 40.
Yes, you are.
Which he's probably like 54 now. Like, how long ago was that clip from?
Real talk, Jim. He's turned 50 since then, actually. And somebody at a press conference asked him, "So now that you're 50, does that mean you're more of a man?" And I believe his response was, according to what I heard, and I quote.
All right, let's play the age game. Let's play the age game real quick. Kyle, what age do you say the great mullet Mike Gundy is?
Somebody said 54. I wore that number in basketball, so I will guess 54.
All right, EJ.
56.
All right, Matt.
52.
Mikey, if you shoot one off in the comments real quick, I'll let you get on the game as well. Mikey has 53. EJ, right on the nose. 56. Just turned that a couple of weeks ago, actually.
Yeah. By the way, props to Mikey Byrne, my dad's football number. Well played, sir.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, EJ, Big 12.
Kyle, I'm buying that bridge. Texas.
You a dumb motherfucker.
No, honestly, I don't know the reason to pick Texas other than the fact that
because they're Texas. That's why.
No, so Oklahoma, I feel the same as you do with Oklahoma. I don't trust them either myself. TCU, I don't know how good it'll be after last year.
If I may, EJ, I've watched Dylan Gabriel blow big game after big game personally, so I hear you.
Right, Baylor could be good. I'm sure it'd be in the mix.
Can they?
To me. Of the conferences that we've discovered here, I think it's the one that's like so wide open. I'm just picking one and to say, hey, you know what? Let's see what it hits.
All
so
right.
Texas it is.
All right, Matt.
Just to be different, I will take Kansas State.
I almost
That's not bad. That's not bad, actually.
I almost did. I'm not going to front.
I don't really trust any of these teams, honestly.
Yeah.
Hacksaw Duggan was not the quarterback anymore, so I was out. You know.
Oh my God!
Sean and I both have Texas. EJ stole our thunder with that one.
Sorry.
Who the fuck knows who the fuck?
Thank you.
Really, like it's gonna who bastardizes themselves and comes out on top in this conference. So you're gonna have conference champions. What 7-5, 8-8, well, I guess 8-5 after the conference title game. Like.
Jim, this is your worst pick since Utah last year, you son of a bitch.
He said he was over it. I call BS.
Clearly.
No. If Texas wins, that'll be the new one. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, there we go. All right. Yeah. Mikey has, he says, give him the frogs. He also says, you should get him to do an intro for the show. Yeah. If you haven't listened to the 3CT podcast, if you've ever watched the show Double Dare, you'll recognize the voice that kicks off the 3CT podcast.
On your mark.
Shout out to Mark Summers for that one. Appreciate that. All right. Now we go to the Heisman Trophy. And again, this is a thing that seemed like such a much bigger deal when I was younger, but nonetheless, we predicted on this show. Matt, we will start with you. Who is your Heisman?
I mean, there's really only one pick, right? It's Caleb.
Tool.
All right. EJ.
What Matt said.
Tool.
It was you that wrote that in my fucking thing. Only 2 picks now.
Yeah, how I'm giving it away.
That was great.
Kyle.
Obviously, see, you could tell I was pushing a lot of chips into the table that I would pick this one first and completely lost that bet. Listen, Caleb Williams is obviously the safe pick for tools. Let's be clear. And no offense, Matt, I knew EJ would pick it. I didn't realize you'd be caught in the crossfire. My apologies. I'll smoke a cigar in your honor another night. But because I'm willing to get Caleb Williams wrong, and I've already cleared this to put an asterisk with the stat keeper, that I acknowledge that Caleb Williams will probably get the award. I'm worried his numbers will go down because USC's defense will improve, thus requiring him to sling the ball 500,000 times to get 832,000 yards for 556 million points. Yeah, I know that math doesn't track, but just follow me. Exactly. You'll need to take your shoes off, Jen. Don't bother. For an honorable mention, somebody who will get significant voting, I decided to keep it in the Pac-12 because of the severe lack of defense that tends to exist. Moreover, this is a guy who was really good at Indiana. Yeah, I know, Indiana, but his injuries were a problem. And during the pandemic, Indiana put up a hell of a show against Ohio State with one Michael Penix Jr. at quarterback. Now, my time at the Blue HQ, that's that it is. Don't ding it, they're dead. Oh,
that was great.
With that in mind, shouts to my guy Dalton Tinklenberg. With all of that in mind, though, Washington, I think, is going to make some noise. Do I think they'll win the Pac-12? No. Do I think they have the potential to get in the championship game? Maybe. I don't know. Does the Pac-12 still have divisions? But the punchline's this.
I think their conference title game is number 1 versus number 2 now.
So there you go. They have a shot to make and lose it to Caleb Williams in what will probably be a gunfight, the likes of which Ike Clampett and Wyatt Earp would participate in. Okay, there you go. That's the OK Corral, mommies and daddies. Okay, so the punchline's this: Penix may not win the conference, but he will put up bitchin' numbers, get invited to New York, and he might even have better numbers than Caleb Williams, because I don't think they'll have a defense quite as good at USC's now that Lincoln Riley's retooled. Obviously, I have the defensive guru nature of one.
Allegedly.
Exactly. To back my claim, but nonetheless, I think Lincoln Riley has, I know it's the Big 12 in comparison, just work with me here, has a lower bar in the Pac-12 than the Big 12 at the time, because, hey, at least UCF plays some defense, you know.
All right. Look, I love my brother. I would love nothing more than this to happen. He has Sam Hartman winning it. I would love it. I would love it. I don't see it happening.
Homer.
Mikey B did want to do it. He did want to do it. He didn't. I'll get to his in a second. I'm going all in on the LSU stuff. So I'm going to take Jaden Daniels if they're going to win the SEC. He's going to be a big reason why. So
I understand what you're doing, Jim. And
it's hard. It is hard to go back to back. It really is. And what Caleb Williams did a year ago, will they be able to stack up against it if there is a little bit of competition in the Pac-12? If there is, depending what happens in October in South Bend, like there's a few opportunities for him to not win. I don't even necessarily want to say lose the Heisman, but to not win the Heisman. But like I said, if LSU is going to win the SEC and maybe more, who knows? Jaden Daniels is going to be a huge reason why.
I'll say this: the only thing working against you is the SEC factory. No, not necessarily about the SEC is bad quarterbacks. Yeah, Bryce Young got drafted just recently. Shut up. But Anthony Richardson too. But with all that in mind, that defense, man, they don't help stats, and uneducated tool writers will look at stats over performance.
But those uneducated tool writers also love the SEC. Like,
you have been working for you, sir. I will.
So, I'm kind of leaning into that as well.
I mean, at least the SEC actually is the best conference in college football. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's debatable.
Facts don't care about. I get it.
There we go. Mikey B has Marvin Harrison Jr. as his. So
hey, you're wrong, but I would love to see it.
I respect it.
By the way, hashtag Ndamukong Suh won the Heisman. Damn it.
The Heisman odds at plus 1,600, you have JJ McCarthy from Michigan, Bo Nix out of Oregon, Sam Hartman out of Notre Dame, Drake May out of North Carolina, Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, and Jordan Travis out of Florida State. At plus 1,400, you have Quinn Ewers out of Texas. Plus, I know that's laughable. Plus 1,000, you have Jaden Daniels out of LSU, and plus 375, is Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams is the favorite, as he should be, going into the season.
Hey, Jim, do you wish that FSU played against Tennessee? Because if FSU with Jordan Travis beat Clay Travis's alumni, you would lose your mind, I would assume, right?
Anytime Tennessee loses, America wins. That's the way I look at it.
So you didn't like them beating Alabama this year. That's interesting.
It was a conflicting moment. Because I hate Alabama, but Clay Travis. All right. So the college football playoff this year, again, final of the 4-team. The semifinal games are the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. For the sake of these predictions and the sake of these predictions only, because these, the actual games do not shake out until we get to that point of the year. But we will go Rose Bowl as your 1 versus 4 matchup, and the Sugar Bowl as your 2 versus 3. So Kyle, we will start with you at the Rose Bowl. What is your 1-4 matchup?
So I'm going to do the first part of what will be my shocker result here going on. I have your SEC representative, Georgia, battling Ohio State at number 4.
All right. EJ.
I also have Georgia in the Rose Bowl as well, too, but I have my Florida State Seminoles in there.
Tool.
Homer.
Yeah.
Let's get out of the way.
At least 6, Jim. Come on.
I'm leaning this year for now.
Homer. There we go. I do like Norvell, though, EJ. I want to be clear.
Yeah, I know you do. You like more than I do. Put that way.
I don't think EJ, because I listened to the Earnestly Speaking podcast last week, and I don't think you're the biggest Norvell guy.
It's growing on me slowly. He's slowly growing on me.
What?
EJ, is your camera leaning, or is that picture in the van leaning? Or are you going? Are you parked on the hill?
The van right now? We're
facing a perp right now.
We're in a pursuit right now. So.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to tell me the software to drown out the siren in the back
there. Matt, your Rose Bowl prediction.
I have Georgia versus USC.
All right. Let's see. Sean has Georgia versus Florida State.
Probably did Notre Dame.
Good job.
Wait, too soon?
Too soon. Yeah, too soon. I have Michigan versus Georgia as my
Homer.
I'm not. That's not well. Okay.
Yes, you are.
Homer. It's for the sake of this house. It's for the sake of the house. Michigan is the 1.
He likes her company. There's nothing wrong with that, Homer.
Georgia is the 4.
Mikey start shouting Marge. Is that it? Marge.
Yeah, Marge. Mikey has Georgia versus number 4 Notre Dame.
Homer.
No, he's not. He's a Coastal Carolina guy.
Good point. Yeah, the G5's not in it, so.
All right. Matt, your Sugar Bowl, which is the 2-3.
Number 2, Michigan versus number 3, Notre Dame.
Homer. I have not seen EJ and I agree so much on a show that's not
it's weird.
Podcast Bing.
In related news, I just saw a pig fly by my window.
Don't get used to this shit.
No, I don't know what was flying out of your butt. Anyways.
Oh, wow. Damn.
That is a disgusting act.
You're the one that did it.
All right, EJ, your Sugar Bowl.
I also got Michigan in there as well. But I also have USC in the Sugar Bowl.
And Michigan is your number 2, I would assume.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Kyle.
I'm remembering other times that EJ has agreed with me. It's because he's stealing my notes. I too have Michigan and USC.
There we go.
All right. Mikey B has the same. Maybe EJ was just looking in the comments and saw Mikey B.
Hey, Mikey Byrne has great notes. I'm not bitching at that.
For me, my Sugar Bowl is LSU versus USC.
See, I'll be honest. I was this close to putting LSU at 4, so I can't get mad at you.
Okay.
By the way,
but again, this is LSU winning the SEC. So
anybody noticing? By the way, By the way, anybody noticing how a particular panelist has 2 Big Ten teams representing and not 2 SEC teams representing? Anybody see how that happened there?
That was
What's the student of the game, Kyle?
yeah.
This guy. Marge.
Marge. Sean has Michigan versus Notre Dame.
Homer.
Thank you.
All right.
I have to ask quick if we go further. Nobody picked Alabama whatsoever. No one even considered Alabama.
I don't think you should.
So no, right. No, to your point. So here's a question. And a Saban.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's the end of Saban if he chooses to retire.
Okay.
Correct. I think
End
even if
of Saban, EJ.
Like, no, not him getting fired. No, man, be clear. Not him getting fired. Not getting fired. But in terms of him, like, how we see the last of Saban being on top of the car, like this. Like, is this the
no
start being a little?
No,
Okay.
look, he's going to be there, and I think recently he said he's going to coach till 2030. So,
no, right.
And I tend to believe him because he's probably going to outlive me.
I'm gonna say we mentioned obviously Georgia, we've mentioned LSU, okay, but no one said that a bummer about Alabama being good this year, at least being Alabama this year. So.
Okay, the top part of this screen has seen Tommy Rees and Tyler Buckner running an offense. That's why I'm not picking Alabama. Okay. I'm just saying.
By the way, I'm glad you cited that transfer. Somebody else has been listening to the Joel Klatt podcast as well,
Bing.
and rightly so. But Bing, fair.
Right, and Joel Klatt brings up a great point. Like if Alabama really had a quarterback to replace Bryce Young, they wouldn't have recruited Tyler Buckner to leave Notre Dame to come there this summer.
Volume spoken.
So do we see Bama with 3 losses this year?
Possibly.
Shit. Pop the schedule. But while you're doing that, Jim, I'll make this statement. Your thing about Saban leaving, EJ, the reason why it's credible, though, I don't buy it. If you watch Saban's continued frustration with the state of college football, like many veterans, granted, he's not whined about it like Jim's favorite coach, Jimbo Fisher. Thank you, Jim. Well done. Who? Marge? No.
Marge.
Your Jim Harbaugh love is what saves you from me talking more trash. I'll leave it at that. But Homer. But in that case,
Homer.
Because of Saban's vocal outspokenness, condemning other programs and the process. Granted, he's tried to play along and evolve like a good coach should. You know, even Gus Malzahn at UCF has done the same. Where even if you're an old white man that Prime from Colorado wants to imitate by putting Twitter handles and QR codes on the back of your jerseys like UCF has done previously before you, that means you learn to evolve with change. Gus Malzahn will never be cool, but he will acknowledge that and evolve with change, like Brian Kelly attempted to do. But the punchline's this. Sorry, Jim.
No. What are you talking about at Notre Dame? Or are you talking about that awkward recruit video?
Yeah, we're all
did like the circle
here.
camera thing.
We're all family here, Jim. You don't need to do that.
Good Lord.
Anyways.
They have better Southern accents in elementary school theater, man. I'm just saying.
Damn.
I mean, am I wrong? Show me the lie.
Excuse
Show
me,
me the lie.
sir. This show is called Huddle Up. We don't dunk quite that hard, okay?
Show me the lie, please. Show me the lie.
At any rate, with all of that being said, I don't think it'll happen, but with Saban's recent outspokenness, the fact that he's aging the way he is, if you get enough strings,
72
by the way,
on Halloween, by the way.
Okay, fair enough. With all of that being said, I've seen him in person the last time he wasn't, I shouldn't say the last time before last year when he wasn't playoff relevant. He was at the Citrus Bowl. I watched him face those criticisms. And while he had great responses, you could tell he was visibly frustrated, being like, what do you mean drop off? Like, he didn't say this, but it was along the lines of, motherfucker, what do you mean drop off? I'm still at the Citrus Bowl and that's a down year. This is what entitlement looks like. And I'm a white middle-aged man and I'm telling you what entitlement looks like. Okay? Shit. Anyways, you like that one, Jim?
Joe Buck yourself.
That's what Saban's out there doing. All right, here's the Alabama schedule. Just you can shout it out as we go through. They start this weekend in a mighty battle in the SEC network against Middle Tennessee.
Next.
Loss.
There's a win. Could you imagine Monday morning sports talk if Alabama loses to Middle Tennessee?
I'd rather not.
Oh my God. It would
Hell
make
of a dunk on you, EJ. I see him.
He woke up to look at me. Hold
on. Week 2 against Texas.
Loss.
You're going loss.
I am, because they're gonna listen. Think the Raiders against Tom Brady.
Okay. All right. There's one loss. Okay. All right. Then we got at South Florida.
Loss. I wish.
That would be nice.
If only.
Then we got Ole Miss at home against Ole Miss.
I mean, we've seen it happen the other way, but I'm going to win. Yeah.
All right. At Mississippi State.
Win.
At Texas A&M.
Loss.
That could be a loss. I mean, is A&M any good this year?
Texas A&M beat them
2 years ago.
2 years ago at Texas A&M. It's going to be a night game. It's going to get silly again.
Tommy Reese doesn't do well under the lights, Jim.
You know, that's kind of a maybe game. Well, so we're teetering. Then you got home against Arkansas.
Come on.
Win. Home against Tennessee.
It's going to be a win this year.
Okay, going to be a win this year at home. Home against LSU.
Damn.
I'm going loss.
For the sake of the conversation, I'll say loss, but damn, that's tough.
All right. So there's 2 for sure, possibly a third. Then they go at Kentucky. Win. At home against Chattanooga.
Who?
Exactly. And then at Auburn to close out the year.
Yeah, win. No offense.
That's a win. Okay. So we have 2 losses for sure. Possibly a third, depending what could happen at Texas A&M.
I don't think 2 losses can bring you to a conference championship this year. So then, yeah.
No, I don't think it will either.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the national championship, which is in Houston this year. So Kyle, we will start with you. National championship game.
So Georgia and Michigan will do battle for the conference championship. And do I declare my winner here?
Sure.
The three-peat takes place, and Kirby looks smart. So too does Matt by nixing Bo. I said it. And yeah, I got Georgia for year 3 in a row just because they're so complete.
All right, there we go. Matt, we'll have to skip over EJ because he's currently getting dunked on by his kids.
Well, you know, he didn't want to show the carnage of the rim breaking as he does.
I mean, look, we don't want to have to put an explicit warning on this video, so I do appreciate him turning the camera off. Matt, we'll go to you. National title game.
Georgia over Notre Dame.
Homer.
I mean, I had Notre Dame versus Michigan. You think I'm picking Michigan?
Homer.
So then we got Matt has Georgia over Notre Dame.
You put Colorado against Michigan. There's no chance I'm picking Michigan. Any team in the world, if I have the chance to get Michigan out in an embarrassing fashion, Michigan is losing.
Is Michigan the team you hate the most in college football?
As any Notre Dame fan would say, yes.
I thought USC was the rival. I'm confused now.
That felt personal, Matt. That felt personal.
Yeah.
Homer.
USC's 2.
Wait, Marge. Wait, now it's both of them. Shit.
Marge, Homer, Marge.
Marriage, Simpsons.
EJ. National game.
There will be no three-peat. I got Michigan or Georgia.
Homer?
Yes, my number 2 team is Michigan, actually. So technically, yeah.
Allegedly.
Homer.
Allegedly.
Homer.
Allegedly.
Homer.
And there's the kiss of death for Michigan. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
It's true.
You know, my wife's going to kick you in the nuts when we get. Well, no, you won't. You will never make it to meet us. You can't even meet Kyle. All right. My brother Sean has.
Sounds like a real field, buddy.
Has Georgia versus Notre Dame.
Homer.
But he has Georgia with the three-peat.
Oh, darn it! So close.
So close. Mikey B has Notre Dame versus Michigan. Good God, I don't want that smoke in this house.
Marge.
Oh my God.
Marge.
Could you imagine Denise's house at that national
bro,
title game?
I leave the house when that game happens in the regular season.
Oh,
I'm
so
taking.
Wait. Do golf courses open on a Monday night? Like, can you get like a glow ball event to go to with that?
So I'm going to a hotel if that happens.
Damn.
And stay in the night.
I mean, I thought you would at least like the celebration with the wife.
There you go, Mike. I respect it. He said he did it to watch the world burn.
So does that make Mikey burn the joke? Hey, he did it to watch the world burn.
Yes, I see that there. I have, and again, I don't know why I'm leaning into this so hard, but Michigan versus LSU, because I think they'll beat USC. But then I have Michigan.
March. I
have to find a clip of Homer saying Marge.
Should I record it for you? Is that easier?
No, we've had 38,000 seasons of The Simpsons. I think I could find a clip him saying Marge. I'm just gonna
you are a talent. You know, if you couldn't do it, if you failed at that, I would say your efforts were not great, Bob.
There we go. The odds for the national championship to start the season: LSU is plus 1,200.
Homer.
Michigan is plus 800. Ohio State plus 700. Alabama, this seems very high. The second highest plus 600. I guess that's just because of historical love.
Correct.
For Alabama.
Remember,
they're plus.
Bettors drive the line. You jabronis know this.
Well, don't put me in that.
You're nothing but a degenerate.
In that group.
EJ.
But Georgia plus 225 to start the year. Obviously, the favorite going into this one. Should be no real surprise there. And then I'm throwing this one on you guys. I told Mikey about it. So we're actually
snap.
We are actually going to bring the burn in here to the studio. Because this is something obviously we're going to do next week on our NFL preview. And we want to remind everybody next Wednesday, as much of the crew as we can will be joining Kyle on the student of the game to be discussing the kickoff to the NFL season. But we'll be doing the NFL over-unders for every team next year. We are certainly not going to do all 137 FBS schools for over-under on this show. I don't hate myself enough to do
I don't hate myself enough. Oh, my goodness, Jim.
But, well, and I'll quote the Simpsons movie, I don't hate myself enough yet to do that.
If you want more humor like that, check out Discussions with a Nobody, Big Jim's podcast. It's very interesting, introspective on what he does in his life, and it's a good listen too.
I appreciate the shout out.
All
right, so I just have a few over under win totals. We'll go in the same order. We'll go Matt, EJ, Mike, and Kyle, and we will start with that Alabama Crimson Tide. The over under mark is 10.5. So the over under, Matt.
Under.
EJ.
Under.
Mike B.
Over.
Ooh, okay. So Mikey has them beating. Well, no, that so 10 and
2.
So you have them winning one of those games we had them losing.
That's still the under then.
No. I have them losing a game. I have them going. So no. I have them going to the SEC title game and losing a second game eventually when Georgia mollywops them.
Okay, yeah, this is regular season win totals. Gotcha.
So that's why I'm taking the over.
All right, and Kyle.
Boy, that's a razor's edge you're bouncing on here. There's no room for error on this. Based on my previous testimony, I have to say under. I feel compelled.
Yeah, I will take under as well. Clemson 10, Matt.
Under.
EJ.
Under.
Mikey.
No DJ Uiagalelei. I have to take the under.
Kyle.
What? La bamba. Simply because so many teams are in the ACC are useless. Criminy. Yeah, they play Notre Dame. That's a loss. Yeah. I mean, you know that they always dominate their own. They always dominate their own conference. I see FSU winning that game too. So you said it's at 10,
10
Jim?
even, yeah.
Damn. You put me. I never thought I would utter Clemson and Alabama being the same, yet here we are. Yeah, I'm going to have to take the under for Clemson as well on that same logic.
All right. Well, I have them winning the ACC, so I will take the over.
Hashtag you problem.
Right.
By the way, Jim, did that hurt?
Yeah, a little bit.
Slightly.
But then again, we're seeing how much we're seeing what level of how much I hate myself. So we're slowly finding that line.
Slight over.
All right, because I wanted to cover teams that the panel is fans of, and we're going in alphabetical order. We will go to Mikey B's Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. The over-under line is at 8, Matt.
Over.
All right, EJ.
Over.
All right, Mikey B.
Over. Grayson McCall for Heisman Trophy winner.
I love it. Kyle.
Grayson McCall is a bad mamma jamma. The fact that he stayed there blows my mind.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, man. Seriously, I guess somebody stepped up big with some tobacco money or some ish. Because Carolina, come on, guys, keep up.
I thought that was going to be Notre Dame's quarterback this year. I thought he was.
We all had that conversation off air,
buddy, and I didn't have that conversation with you. But let me tell you, the lack of shock you would have seen in my face if that did happen would have been notable. The shock would have been not shocking. Anyways, that being said, Grayson McCall at the helm. I know Chadwell's not coaching anymore, but that's fine. I can go over for 8 wins. Listen, if Troy may have a better performance, but they might compete to make it to the Cure Bowl again, and I'd love to cover them again.
All right, I will take the over on Mikey's team. I'm not going to be the only one going under on that one. All right, a team that has made plenty of headlines. New head coach last year in the Pac-12. Colorado. The over-under line is at 3.5 wins. Matt.
Yeah, let's give them 4 over.
All right.
Slight
over. Slight. EJ.
That's where I'm at too. 4 wins, so give me over.
Mikey B.
If they don't want to be here, they don't have to be here. Give me the under because he's got to retool that whole fucking team.
Listen, Mikey Byrne, to your full point, 63 new players. Damn. That being said, I wake up motivated. I see the over. Who is Pack, baby?
Do we want to do the schedule game after I give mine? I will say a slight over. I'll say 4. Like,
Jim, you're adopting the slight. Does that mean you're being frisky?
Ooh, never. Good God. I will end this show.
Hey, EJ, what can I say except you're welcome?
Let's play a schedule game. See if we can find the 4 wins. So this weekend at TCU, we already have that one as a loss. You know that, right? Week 2, home against Nebraska.
Win.
I'll go win on that one. Nebraska sucks out loud.
All they do is win. No.
Who gives a shit?
First home
nobody
game.
Care. Ain't nobody
home game. Another big noon on Fox. Again, like we're the first 3 weeks they're on Fox, ESPN. Prime's already done the work he's needed to do in year 1. Let's get that out of the way.
I mean, how do you think he got all the money for the transfers in the NIL, brother? Shit.
Let's go week 3 at home against Colorado State.
Win.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Go Rams.
We'll go win. And then we got at Oregon.
Loss.
Lose by 40.
You're gonna have to nix Prime on that one.
Home against USC.
Loss.
What are you talking about?
I actually think Caleb Williams just scored his 2nd touchdown of that game already. And that is at the end of September. Then we go at Arizona State.
Win.
Loss.
Yeah, I give a win there.
No, understand what's going on, gentlemen. They're still paying prices for stuff Herm Edwards did there because apparently he never took the time to
play to win the game.
Indeed, he never took the time to learn recruiting violations. Arizona State is self-imposing post-game probation, right? They just announced this to the team 5 days before their first snap. No, dude, that's an L.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. All right, so there's 3. Then they host Stanford.
Win.
Loss.
L.
Loss.
All right, I heard more losses than wins. At UCLA.
Loss.
Yeah, loss.
Yeah,
loss.
I'll go loss. Home against Oregon State.
Loss.
I'll go loss.
DJ Uiagalelei. Loss.
How good is the O line? Nah, loss. Okay.
Go loss. Home against Arizona.
Okay, that's a loss too.
Yeah,
I know it's
Arizona's kind of like, I mean, I don't think they're scaring
Are
anybody.
they frisky?
Title.
Are they frisky?
No, shut up.
Are you going to tell me that they play Vanderbilt?
Listen. In EJ's defense, Arizona is the Wildcats. Being frisky makes sense.
Don't encourage him. Guys.
I don't know, man.
This is the kind of stuff that lets that happen. Don't let
fetch happen. Yeah.
But then again, I dunk on him for the rest of the year, Mr. I let EJ do A and B in my standings
again
power rankings.
Jay, remember him being over it? Not over it yet. Still
never over.
Oh no, I'm not over that one. It's Utah. I'm over. Let's be clear.
I know.
At Washington State.
Win.
Loss.
No. Wow. Okay.
I'm not.
I heard more losses than wins.
Kyle.
I'm going to say that Colorado loses that game, but EJ, if they win it, I will be happy to let you boast.
All right. And then final game of the year at Utah.
Lose by 67.
Loss.
Yeah.
So there we got 3 for sure on that schedule. So that would be
I
the
had
under.
him at 4. I had him beating
4 also
Stanford.
too.
So we had the slight. So yeah, I think Stanford is one of those.
Actually, real talk, I could see the program being deflated based on the situation that they're in with no chairs and the music ending in the musical chairs conversation, Matt. That's not a ridiculous pick. I got to tell you.
It's in Boulder.
I mean,
it helps, right? I mean,
it's at home.
Stanford, what week do they play Stanford?
It's like middle of the year.
Yeah. All right, so when they're on a 4-game losing streak playing Stanford, and that becomes the big noon game.
Well, no, because they just
5-game losing streaks.
They just
beat Arizona State the week prior. They're riding that high.
You hope
there, yeah.
You hope.
Stanford, I think is they have a new coach this year, I believe.
Yeah. Shaw is out, right?
Yes. Yeah, Shaw is out. So yeah,
goes to Toby Gerhart.
They could only hope.
The ghost of Andrew Luck.
Hey, listen, you sons of bitches. That's cruel. By the way, the ghost of Andrew Luck haunts Indianapolis, not Stanford.
not Hall of Famer Andrew Luck.
Oh, don't do it.
Go back, listen to that episode a couple weeks ago in the offseason program. All right, and then we move on. EJ's team, the Florida Gate. No, I'm just kidding.
Under.
Calm down, EJ. Calm down. Florida State, the over-under number is 10. Matt.
Under.
EJ.
No, it's
over.
Actually, you know what? I'm going even. I'm going even right at 10.
Push.
Ooh, okay. Mikey B.
Under.
Kyle.
Over.
I like the spirit. I'm going to unite with my Notre Dame brethren, and I will go push.
I just love the fact
fucking pansy.
I just love the fact that Kyle, the only easy answer Kyle's had this whole time is Coastal Carolina. Every other one you hear
He's like,
okay, that's because your guy Grayson McCall, my dude. Shit,
that one is the easy one. All right,
listen. I've seen him play. He's not an NFL caliber player, but damn, he's a fun quarterback to watch.
All right, Georgia 11.5. Matt.
Over.
Easy over.
EJ.
Easy over.
Mikey B.
As someone walks out of my house, I'll take the over.
All right. Kyle, you said over.
Yeah, with no disrespect to Grayson McCall, over.
Because they don't play my SEC champion LSU Tigers, they will go over.
Homer.
Stop that. He's not my head coach.
Homer.
Speaking of,
he's your best head coach. Homer.
Best coach so far.
Homer.
March. Speaking of those LSU Tigers, 9.5. Matt.
Over.
EJ.
Slight.
I'll go over 10-2. I can see that.
All right, Mikey B.
They're a true family down there in Tigerville. I'll take the over.
Hater ass.
I took the over after cracking the joke. What the?
No, you're fair, but you're still a hater. You were reluctant, Mikey Byrne.
No,
I gotta get that Brian Kelly soundbite of him saying family.
Oh, Homer.
Kyle, 9.5 LSU.
And remind me, are we including a bowl win?
No, this is regular season.
Yeah.
Woo, that's tough.
It's so painful.
It is.
They nail these numbers too.
You're right. You're right, EJ. If you could be this good on your power rankings, I never talk shit.
That's a lie.
Whoa. No, it's not. Listen.
Wow. He could never be that good.
Well, okay, fair. That's okay. That's not a lie. That's the goddamn.
Don't be rude.
That's the joke. Okay. By the way, there's one you need to add. Anyway. Hey, pass it down. I appreciate you helping me stall, Jim, but that doesn't help.
Someone's drunk.
What?
No, I'm joking.
Yes, you aren't drunk. You don't have the power rankings. No, I'll say.
Stay till next week.
Nice. I'll say under. Shit.
I have to go over.
Yes, you do. You've cornered.
You're
I have to.
You're
I have to.
yourself.
Yeah, I mean their hardest game is Alabama. So
they might win that game. They win that game.
Yeah,
they play Florida State, Ole Miss, Alabama, and Texas A&M are the only ranked teams they play.
Yeah, the currently ranked teams. Yeah, I'll go over 9. And
I think they'll be declared number 2 team in the SEC this year.
Yeah.
You know what? Change my vote to over. You sold me, Jim.
Yeah, my guy right there. I appreciate you. Let's see. Jason in the comments says under for LSU.
I'm obviously not mad at it. I just said
a shot at Kyle.
Pink umbrella.
Hey, bitch, try it. Okay, there you
go. All right, Michigan Wolverines 10.5. Matt.
Over.
EJ.
That hurt, Matt, didn't it?
No. Here's what it is.
Way over.
They play in the Big Ten. It's
saying he has them in the college football.
I do have
number
as the number 2.
It's an easy over for me.
I mean, that's a lot of disrespect for your future conference there, Matt.
Not gonna happen, bro.
I didn't talk about the ACC.
Mikey B.
Over.
Kyle.
Obviously over. Jim Harbaugh's the man, y'all.
Yes, this is easy over. All right, Notre Dame 8.5. Matt.
Over.
EJ.
Under.
I'm fuck off.
Fuck you, buddy.
No, I'll go over. That'll be good this year.
Well done, Jim.
Mikey B.
Jim, you should have let him stay at the fucking under because then you would have smashed the over because now you let the fucking mush in. Jesus. I have Notre Dame playing in the national title game. There's no way I'm taking the
under. That's an easy over.
Yeah, I don't get you, Byrne. We're gonna have a talk.
That's fine. I like conversating with you. It's fun.
Actually, no, we do have fun conversing. Conversate isn't a word, you ignorant beep.
I'm tired.
Fair. Hey, listen.
Motherfucker, do you speak it?
Wow.
I do sometimes.
Wow. I mean, listen, you are a dealer. You know how to deal with it. I get it. Let's go ahead, Jim.
Kyle, 8.5 in Notre Dame?
Shit, you would. If it were 7.5, I would say over. 8.5. Fuck it, I'll still say over. God, that hurt.
Did I hurt?
Man, I was about to get hot. Over. Easy over.
Cocky Irish fan. I like this.
We listen to you all the time, EJ. We know all about cocky Irish fans.
Okay, so I mean, here's the deal. I think at worst 9 wins.
No, I agree with you 100%.
In your defense, Jim, like we've talked about, you said on Twitter, calling people out. Oh, I thought I thought Notre Dame was supposed to have the cupcake schedule. You don't this year. Your tough games, real goddamn tough.
Yeah.
The rest, not so much. I see where you're going.
But yeah, I think they win at least 2 out of the big 3. And I mean, even if you have a slip up somewhere else, I mean, you're still looking at 9 wins.
Mm-hmm.
9 or
2
10.
of the big 3 are at home too, right?
Right. Correct. Yeah. Ohio State at
USC,
home,
USC.
USC at home, and then you're at Clemson.
So you think you win 2 out of Ohio State, Clemson, and USA?
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah.
Don't
I think we beat Clemson, and I think we split the 2 at home.
Yeah, I think Clemson. I don't like to use the word lock 2 months out, but I think Clemson is the win.
Must win.
Hold on. You think you're capable of beating Ohio State or USC? I'm just checking.
Okay.
At home,
Still 9-3.
Keep in mind, Notre Dame was within 7 points of Ohio State in the fourth quarter at Ohio State to start the year last year. Notre Dame is a much better team this year than they were last
year. The worst team offensively.
When do you play Ohio State?
September 26th.
So not week 1 when they've had time to tool up, to quote EJ. And
as does Notre Dame.
I love this confident Jim and Notre Dame. I love it.
Listen, and I have to lie, or excuse me, I have to tell the truth on that. I have to lie. I have to tell the truth on that. I do enjoy Jim not crying in his Miller Lite. Jesus Christ, man. Drink some good beer. I mean, I love the popcorn, but that's hurting my feelings, the Miller Lite drink. Anyways, he says as he sips his wine, right?
Yeah,
but shouts to Left Hand Chocolate Peanut Butter Stout, which I would normally be drinking if I had time to make it fucking ABC.
But red wine.
What's that, EJ?
But red wine.
But red wine.
There you go.
Stay close to me, EJ. Anyway.
Hey, can I show you guys something real quick?
Sure.
So my wife bought me early birthday presents. I'm a Funko collector.
Is that Joey Burr?
It's autographed by Joe Burr.
Dude. That's legit.
With the certificate of authenticity. I got 2 of them.
Dude,
I'm sure you're feeling what her first name is. Like singing.
Oh, Carol?
There you go.
Oh yeah. I'm
awesome,
like, she literally just brought these in from the mailbox and was like, "Here, look." And I'm like, hold on. I have this Funko. Then I opened it a little bit more and I go, I don't have the one with the signature on it.
I don't have the one that says Joey Burr on the front.
That's awesome.
God damn it.
That is
Fucking
awesome.
guy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks, babe. I love you.
If I didn't have the autographed Joe Montana behind my shoulder on my immediate left, your right, I would be jealous.
Yeah, I absolutely think they can split the Ohio State USC games this year.
And even then, it's still only 3 losses. Let's look at the over.
Oh yeah.
Right, even if you lose the big 3.
I said over. Chill out.
Yeah.
It's the yeah, okay. It's the other stuff I can't quite bet.
It was the questioning on if they were going to win 2 out of 3 of the big.
I mean, USC only beat Notre Dame by 11 last year at the Coliseum with Drew Pine as quarterback.
Listen,
and no wide receivers.
When no one
flags for offensive holding.
Drew Pinesall.
When nobody except for the college football playoff committee takes you seriously, that's what happens. Okay. Just saying.
I mean, they also were neck for neck with the guy who won the Heisman Trophy, and that defense just got worse.
Is that really what you saw in that game?
No, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, the defense in Southern California got worse.
And I mean, I'm just saying too, it could be chilly in South Bend in October at night, and USC doesn't like cold weather. So
Jim, the 3 games is Ohio State, Clemson, and USC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only one they play on the road is Clemson.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we'll agree that you can beat Clemson. I mean, that's not a stretch, but for your sake, Jim, I hope you're right. So then your wife's team can embarrass you later.
All right, moving on. Jason, I will get to your comment here before we close out. We're going to work through the rest of these over-unders, and then I will get to that before we wrap up.
Okay.
But Ohio State, 10.5, Matt.
Under.
Ooh, EJ.
Under.
Mikey B.
If I have them lose to Notre Dame and I have them lose to Michigan, I think that's the under, correct?
That would be the under.
That's correct.
I will take
That's
the under.
how math works.
I'm mathing.
Kyle.
I have the over. I have the only game they lose being against Jim Harbaugh. So there you go.
All right, give me the under because they'll lose to Michigan and they'll lose to Notre Dame in the green jersey.
Of course they will, Jim.
That's right. That's right. Because that's how math works, Kyle. All right, last season in the Big 12, Oklahoma, 9.5, Matt.
Under.
EJ.
Under.
Mikey B.
I hope Oklahoma State beats them by 90. Under.
Damn, y'all being so cold. I need some socks. Under.
Slight under. Slight. 9-3.
Nobody saw what I did there?
The socks cold part?
Yes.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yes, good.
What can I say? Such a welcome.
Yeah.
Good job. Under as well. Oregon 9.5, Matt.
Under.
EJ.
What's the number again? I'm sorry.
9.5. Pay attention.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at Dino Bravo. Sorry.
Awkward.
I know. Kind of. Fuck. I'll go over 10-2.
All right, Mikey B.
They're Bo leaving the Pac-12. I believe they hit the over.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Kyle.
I'm gonna nix that shitty dad joke. Under. What the
Jesus
fuck, Burn?
Lord.
I will take the under as well.
Set that up somehow for you.
Under.
You know, I support Burn being the dad joke Scottie Pippen on the show. That's what's up.
I like it. I'll allow it because EJ tries to make jokes in his house and then his kids dunk on him. So I will give Mikey B the dad joke.
Tell him, but listen, bitches.
Penn State 9.5, Matt. I love that. That's so good.
That's an under.
Can I record that laugh, Matt, with your permission, and I'll give you a percentage of whatever I win or earn, rather, in using that in my podcast series for my villain laugh? That was great, dude.
That was great. EJ.
So they'll lose the two big ones to Ohio State and Michigan. That's 10. Oof.
And to West Virginia.
Right?
Man, I would love
more.
to hear the local media.
Yeah, lose one more.
Ripping James
under
Franklin.
9 wins, 9-3. Under.
Dang. All right, Mike B.
Do they play Maryland this year?
They do.
They lose to his brother. Under.
They lose.
He's still there. Oh yeah, I guess COVID year. He's still there.
Yeah.
Kyle.
I just love how matter of fact he is. They lose to his brother. I'm like, damn, son, I wasn't ready. Penn State over and over. I'm going to go. Yeah, I got under. And the embarrassing losses to Iowa. Watch.
I was going to say, can they lose to Delaware week 2?
That would be fantastic. Or
I will buy all the Delaware Blue Hens here.
Rutgers.
Do the Lord's work, Blue Hens. Do the Lord's work. Yeah, they're going to lose a game they quote unquote shouldn't. So I will take the under as well.
Yeah. Early.
Tennessee 9.5.
Yeah.
Actually, and I will real quick, Jim. I will say that Penn State loses to Iowa, and Iowa will then be in the college football playoff rankings in week 9 because that win will hold over that long because the committee sucks and loves Iowa that much.
I knew he'd work it in there.
Hashtag conspiracy, bitches.
Tennessee 9.5, Matt.
Tennessee? Mm-hmm. Oh, why are we even picking this under?
EJ.
Yeah, under.
Mike B.
Wins.
I can't find a 10 to see, so I'll take the under.
What?
I like what you did there.
I like that.
Good Lord.
It's a bit of a reach.
Now we're trying too hard.
If we were any further under, EJ would have flashbacks about Tom Brady. Under.
I will take the under as well. Another final season in the Big 12. Texas 9.5, Matt.
I'll take the over for Texas.
All right, EJ.
I'll go over as well.
All right, you better. You have them winning the Big 12.
Sure do. Best, son, exactly.
Mikey B.
10?
That would be over.
9.5. Yeah.
9.5 is the line? Yeah. I guess. They can't find a way to lose to Iowa.
Oh,
can't find a way to lose to Iowa.
Kyle.
You know, Bern, I got to give you credit for that. They can't find a way to lose to Iowa. I like that. Damn it. I'm going to be compelled to pick the over, aren't I? No, I won't. Under. God damn it.
9-3.
Show me something, Texas. Under.
Yeah, I have them as my Big 12 champion as well. So Texas, it is.
It is possible that they're still under and win the Big 12.
That is possible, but I'll give them, even if it's slight, I'll give them the over. A team that Kyle will be covering, UCF 6.5.
I have no clue. Over 7-5. Let's say that.
EJ.
Let's go over 7 wins. 7, 8 wins. Yeah, why not?
Mikey B.
I'm really trying to see who's even on their schedule because I don't even know.
Come on, you had something for Coastal, motherfucker.
I read that. I've read that schedule for a month and a half, trying to figure out how many points they're going to give us on the road at UCLA.
Homer.
So they open with
Jesus.
Kent State. They have Villanova and Boise State as well, and then they have in no particular order, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, West Virginia,
Cincinnati, and West Virginia.
Cincinnati, Houston closes the season.
Yeah, I'll give them 7 or 8.
Okay, State, Texas Tech, Houston, Kansas, Baylor, K-State.
I'll take the over.
Sneaky. Yeah, you get the over though.
Kyle.
Under. I have them winning 6. They'll make a bowl.
Ooh.
All right. I'll go slight over 7.
I see what you did there, Jim.
Jim, slightly.
Can they be 2-1 going on the road for their first conference game at K-State?
If they have the potential to beat Boise State on the road. If they go 3-0, that would be huge. If they don't, they're in my territory. That's all I'm saying.
All right, there we go. USC 10. Matt.
Over.
EJ.
Over.
Mikey B.
Over.
Kyle.
Over.
Yeah, it's easy over.
Mike, that hurts you a little bit there?
And then lastly, what's that?
Mike, that hurts you a little bit? You're like, over.
Apparently, Jim has USC beating his Fighting Irish.
Why?
Because you picked Ohio State with the under.
Right, but USC at 11-1 would beat the over of 10.
You're adorable. Moving on.
I mean, just saying, bro. Just saying.
They're bound to lose. They're bound to lose to Michael
how
Penix
math
Jr.
works, Kyle.
Yes. Facts don't care about your feelings, and you have a. Never mind. I was going to compare you to Clay Travis, but that would be cruel. Moving on.
I'll talk to you October 17th about that one. And then lastly, just because Kyle loves them so much and he's still not over it, even though he says he allegedly is, Utah 8.5.
I don't know how to pick this. I haven't paid them attention. I'll be honest.
I'll go under at 8-4 for Utah.
Ooh.
EJ.
Oh, no. We'll go over on that one.
Mikey B.
I don't see how they lose more than 2 or 3 games on the schedule. Over.
Kyle.
No, like I meant that when you say have no context.
All right. So this is their schedule. I'll just run it down real quick. Florida at Baylor, Weber State, UCLA at Oregon State, Cal at USC, Oregon, Arizona State at Washington, at Arizona, home against Colorado.
8.5, right?
8.5 is the
yeah.
loss.
8.5. Yeah, that's an over. Shit.
Over.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I will take the over on
I
that.
wasn't that big a hater last year.
I see 3 losses there, but that's all I see is 3 losses.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, USC is a loss for sure. Washington, I would say, probably a loss.
I don't know. Is USC a loss for sure? Table flip.
Table flip.
Well, yeah, Kyle, because USC's only losses to Notre Dame in October. We've already gone over this.
I mean, they play 4 preseason ranked teams. They would have to lose to all 4 of them to definitely not hit the over.
All right. Before we close it out here, Jason asked, he goes, what is your upset of the week? He said he'll take the Gators over the Utes, but he'll take the under on the Colorado TCU. Is there an upset this weekend of any major kind?
I mean, I technically picked Florida, but I don't. I mean, yeah, I guess it's an upset because the spread, but like, it's a week 1 spread for Christ's sake. Like,
right, we're basing things off of preseason rankings.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, those things that are stupid and don't matter. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
You know, even though you want to tell me how great your schedule is, preseason rankings don't matter, right, Jim?
I mean, I'm basing it off of what's been presented in front of us,
which includes the preseason rankings that you
say. But regardless of rankings, the 3 biggest games on Notre Dame's schedule would be Ohio State, USC, and Clemson. I don't think there's a debate there, regardless of what the bullshit preseason rankings are.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Jim's favorite.
Show me the lie. Show me the lie.
The lie is Clemson being a big game because they're only a big game because of preseason rankings because the ACC sucks. But your conference is terrible, Jim.
Notre Dame's not in a conference, Kyle.
Of course they aren't.
Google it.
For now.
Google it.
I am going to take my upset of the week as South Carolina over North Carolina.
Is that really though? Like again, the overrated Tar Heels. What are we doing?
Fine.
I will
will
take
take
my
East
upset of the
Carolina over
weekend.
Michigan if you're going to force my hand, Kyle.
You're welcome.
I would take my upset of the weekend.
Enforced.
My upset of the weekend, Virginia over Tennessee, because if Tennessee loses, America wins. Anybody else have an upset special of the week?
Notre Dame. No, I'm kidding.
Duke beats Clemson. No, just kidding.
I mean, technically speaking, I've already picked Florida, so I'm
That's
set.
true.
Duke over Clemson.
Coastal plus 14.5
Against who?
at UCLA.
That's
Ooh.
you know.
I mean,
shit. I mean,
I
damn
will
it,
let out.
Aaron.
I don't hate it.
I
All
don't-
right, we're going to wrap it up for the week. Mikey B, we'll start with you. Quick plug. Where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. You can listen to me talk about fantasy football right here on the Huddle Up Incorporated feed on the FKC Fantasy Hour, which I'm getting ready to go record right now. Otherwise, hang out with me and Big Jim and Ernest on the Take 3 Wrestling podcast. Other than that, guys, looking forward to the year. Looking forward to pop in and do these fun little exit outro things. So can't wait to see what 2023 football season has in store for us.
I'm already looking forward to mid-season awards with you on the Student of the Game pod, by the way, Mikey Byrne.
It's going to be fun. EJ,
Yeah, go ahead.
where can they find you?
Earthquake Podcast, all podcast catchers, Twitter, X, whatever, ePrison7, and
Twitter.
looking forward to the
On this show, it's Twitter.
Okay,
Yeah,
Twitter.
if you
Okay,
start
Jim.
saying X,
Jim
I'm
Scott.
If you start saying X, I'm going to start going like I'm a formerly alive hip hop rapper. Okay, you don't want that.
Yeah, don't give Kyle that thunder.
Right.
You already have to watch me dance for your shitty power rankings. Okay.
Well, we got next week. We're back with Student Game Report next week. Me and Kyle.
Love
What,
that.
10th year in a row? I think no.
God, are we a decade long?
I think it's 10 years in now with this thing.
You
right?
got to. You got
EJ,
to.
you have a week to figure it out because you've said
Yeah.
10th year in a row for the last 5 years. Figure it out. Do the math.
Well, no matter what,
Decade
I'm
in.
no matter what, I'm right somewhere.
Can I math real quick?
Yes.
Decade in, never met the guy. Wow, you're a terrible human being.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Dang, Matt, where can
Yeah.
they find you?
Yep, it's at Teaching to the Choir across all platforms. You can hear me on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the 3CT podcast. And then I guess once a year still on the Earnestly Speaking podcast. Twice a year on the pitch, if I remember to do it.
Love it. Kyle, can we get an abridged version of where they can find you?
It's going to be pretty hard. I'm not going to.
Edited radio edit.
That's what she said.
Boom! First of all, make sure you check out Mikey Byrne as part of the crew that did the AFC North preview this time last week on the Student of the Game podcast. If you're listening to the stream here on Tuesday, tomorrow night, Wednesday will be the AFC South, the final preview of the year before these jabronis come aboard to do the simulcast to get it all settled there too. By the way, we will each have good, bad, and ugly stories going into this coming NFL season. So that should be all sorts of fun. And maybe for 30 seconds, EJ won't sound like a tool. Of course, I'm Kyle Nash, the student.
Whatever happened. Whatever happened.
Of course, I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game. You can find me on Twitter at the SOTG, on Instagram as the same, the SOTG. My Twitch stream is the SOTG. That's weird too. Anyways, on Facebook as a student of the game. Check out my work.
It's
Twitch.
Listen, I had a viewer from England on Twitch during my AFC North preview. I don't want to hear any trash. With that in mind, check out my work with the following entities: the 3-point conversion, A7B in sports, and of course the latest one, the Jaguars report of Sports Illustrated. Shouts to my guy John Shipley, who will be part of the AFC South preview as well. So check that out as you're looking into it. And of course, on Thursday with the Black and Gold Banneret covering UCF as they host Kent State. Guys, an honor, joy, and privilege to talk college football with you. And yeah, I get it. Coastal ball, it's great. Beat Troy this year, we'll talk. With all that in mind, looking forward to doing the season such that it is. And don't forget the Student of the Game podcast Wednesday nights at 8:40 p.m. Eastern. Bing! And of course, during the season, starting this coming Friday at 11 a.m., the Duval Dive, a Jaguars podcast with me and Travis Holmes, talking some stuff Jaguars, getting that there for you too. What can I say? I'm expanding my work in Jacksonville as much as one can. An honor, joy, and privilege. But until next time, everybody, class dismissed.
the scary part is that 5-minute monologue was the abridged version.
You're not wrong.
We got to figure this out.
I expanded. I'm sorry. That's what she
Anyway,
Linktree.
There you go. Got it. Yeah. Mr. Twitch guy, figure out what a Linktree is. But
it's not easy to set up, man.
Oh, it's so easy. I'll show you. Anyway,
I'll show you how to pack your shorts too, Chief.
Jesus.
My God, are we back? We are in for the long haul for the season. We'll be with you live each and every week from now until the week after the Super Bowl. So settle in. This is the kind of bullshit you're about to get for the next 3 months,
and you'll love every damn minute.
I love every second of it. I thank the panel here for joining the show. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports, but the big thing is make sure you are following the show.
Yes,
at Huddle Up Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on all podcast platforms. You can get your Huddle Up merchandise, including all the student of the game stuff, total time bullshit, all the Huddle Up stuff. You can pick your favorite from the team. We got numbered shirts on there as well. Check out the whole lineup. There's even tie-dye stuff for all you hippies out there. You can find that now at tpublic.com. But you can go to our social medias, hit the link tree, and that'll take you directly there. I can't promise we're going to go 2 hours every week. These preview spectaculars do tend to run a little bit long, and we will probably be doing the same next week when we're kind of wrapping up week 1 in college football and looking ahead to the NFL season. But we have a lot of fun here. That's the one thing I can promise throughout the course of this season, and we'll be back again to do it next week. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.